All right, I had to start that way. One of the best songs ever written. Thank you, Sammy, for that idea. What's up, Circuit Rider family? I love you guys so much. Michael here. And ever since they asked us about a week ago to start planning this devotion, every time I prayed, I felt like Jesus was saying, I want to invite you into intercession. And it's what he's been speaking to me in this whole quarantine is, just for me personally, is like, where I'm asking you to go next, unless you meet me in the place of intercession, you won't be ready for it. And so I just thought, that's what God's speaking to me. So let's go into it. So yeah, I feel like God always keeps pulling me back to Matthew 9, 35 through 38 here, which is such a beloved text of the Circuit Riders. But I'm just going to read it. And I think that in talking about intercession, what we're talking about is an invitation of Jesus. I don't think there's no condemnation, there's no accusation. I know, especially reeling from Brian's message last night, true intercession is found in rest, and it's found in that position with Jesus where he's saying, come sit with me on my throne. Let me show you what it's like from my vantage point. Let me show you what I see from here. Let me break your heart for what breaks mine. Would you feel what I feel? And I think this text, Matthew 9, really is a key into intercession. So, and I think that it's amazing because what I felt like God was saying was, man, you've been the laborers, and that moves my heart. And I want also to invite you into a greater place of being the intercessors. So, Matthew 9:35. Jesus went throughout all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues, proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom, and healing every disease, every affliction. That's another sermon. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. Therefore, pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest field. So you see Jesus, our rugged king, going on a campaign, a revolution against darkness, against the kingdom of darkness, against sickness and affliction in these villages, and proclaiming there's a new way, there's a new king, there's a new kingdom. And it was after seeing face to face. I mean, imagine the thousands he looked at in the eye, the thousands he touched with his hands. This wasn't just a 2-hour campaign. This must have taken weeks to go through, at least a week or two, going through every city and village in this one region. And it says after that, he wasn't swollen with pride. Look what I've done. He wasn't in unbelief of it was so dark, it was so hard. But no, he was broken with compassion. And then he looks at his disciples and he gives this invitation. And I feel like there's something in that of saying, Jesus, just like you were broken with compassion after seeing the harvest, would you break my heart? And I just felt like God's invitation to us is, man, you guys have gone from city to city, from campus to campus, from high school to high school. And now we've been in the harvest field. Does our heart break for the harvest field? Does our heart break for the people? Does our heart break? And that place of intercession is where we meet Jesus. And Brian would always coach us back in the day when we'd meet in the garage on Monday nights. He would say, man, the quickest way to meet Jesus is through intercession. You can meet him in suffering. You can meet him in a lot of different ways. But the quickest way to be face to face is to find him in that place of intercession. And I just feel that call that Jesus is asking us. You've been laborers. Would you also be intercessors? I love our culture of prayer. I love our culture of intercession. I think we're on fire. But I feel that it's that taking responsibility, because the truth is, what are you going to find when you go to that place of intercession? And that's a question I feel like Jesus is asking us in this quarantine. Are you swirled out at all? Are you wondering what your calling is? Are you wondering what you're supposed to do with your life? Maybe the reason why you don't know yet is because we haven't had our hearts broken in the place of intercession. What if God's going to release strategy through intercession? What if God's going to move your heart? What if the last thing on earth you ever thought you'd be called to, God's going to break your heart for when you just start asking him, Jesus, what is on your heart? Would you move me in that place of intercession? So, Circuit Riders, I feel that calling. And just the question is, what could God release? Imagine the middle schoolers or the high schoolers that we could pray into the kingdom, a wave of salvation sweeping over America, people getting saved and having encounters alone in their room. That's what happened to me when I was 11. Someone prayed me in. I don't know who it was, but my encounter was alone in my bedroom, and I know someone interceded for that. So so I just wanted to challenge us all in that place. Let's pray the wildest prayers. Let's find Jesus in intercession. And it's not 2 hours. It's not 3 hours of, rocking back and forth. It could be that, but it could also be 5 minutes of, God, break my heart. What are you saying? Okay, Jesus, I'm going to pray in agreement with you. I want to say what you're saying. So, Circuit Riders, let's meet Jesus in intercession in that place of rest, finding Jesus there. Thank you, guys. I love you all so much.